For sure, you know that we haven't been to church in a couple of Sundays. And I just want to say that I really, really miss you guys. And we're thinking about how we can share God's word. And I was asked to give you the lesson. So here we go. Today's lesson is found in Mark chapter 12, verses 41 through 44. And let me read you these verses, and then we'll go into our story. Sitting across from the temple treasury, he watched how the crowd dropped money into the treasury. Many rich people were putting in large sums, and a poor widow came and dropped in 2 tiny coins worth very little. Summoning his disciples, he said to them, I assure you, this poor widow has put in more than all those giving in the temple treasury, for they all gave out of their surplus. But she, out of her poverty, put in everything she possessed, all she had to live on. So we have this story of giving, and we're supposed to bring our offerings to church and use it so that way the ministry or the church can do ministry, especially reaching out to people that do not know Jesus. So this story is about how people gave. So as you can see, I have a basket here, and it says offering. Well, back in those days, I'm sure they had some kind of a box or something to where they would bring their offerings. In this case, we're looking at two kinds of people. Let's say a rich person or someone that has a lot of money, and then we have an old lady who doesn't have much. Okay, so the rich people, or the ones that had a lot of money, would come in and drop their offering in the box. And they gave because they had enough to give, and they weren't going to miss it. Okay, so we're talking about money here. Okay, if I hear a moolah or cash or dough, well, I know we're talking about money. Have you heard of any other words used for money? How about Benjamins, huh? So we have the people that had a lot of money that gave. And then Jesus saw an old lady coming, and she didn't make any noise or anything. And the word says that she just dropped her 2 coins in the basket. And just from reading, everybody knows what a penny looks like. Everybody knows how much it's worth. It's not worth much. So you would have to get a lot of pennies to get $1. Okay, so you would have to have 100 pennies to have $1. So the 2 coins that the old lady dropped in the basket was not worth not even more than a penny. Okay, so she gave a little bit. Okay, but what Jesus said was when he called the disciples over, and he said, hey, listen, I've been watching the people give their offerings, and those that gave a lot, it's because they have a lot. And those that don't have much, well, the old lady didn't have much, and she gave what she had. So that's why we have the verse here in Mark 12:44. For they all gave out of their surplus, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything she had, all she had to live on. Imagine that. If God asked you to give all you had, that means if you did it, well, then you're going to trust God. And I would imagine that that's what the old lady was doing, is that she was trusting God. Okay? We have to learn to trust God, especially now in these times that we're living in. As you can see, we're doing this lesson through video because we can't meet at church because of the virus that's going on, and so they're trying to stop it, and they're saying that if we come together and one of us is infected, well then you're going to infect everybody else. So that's why we're not meeting at church. But guys, I really want to say that I miss you, and praying for you. I think I was able to call some of you guys this past Sunday. If I haven't called you, I will be calling, and I'm sure the other teachers will be calling their students just to check up on you, okay? So, again, let's go over the verse again. For they all gave out of their surplus, but she out of her poverty has put in everything she had, all she had to live on. Okay, Mark 12:44. Remember that, okay, or memorize it so that way. You know me, the first one that tells it to me or memorizes it, and you give it to me, I'll give you a prize. And you know, I still have a lot of candy, so if you see me, or the next time you see me and you give me this verse, and you know, I'll give you a candy. Okay, so God bless you, and just be praying that the church would come together soon, and we can all worship God, and we can see each other. And thank you so much. God bless you. Bye bye.